Does this music make you want to move your feet, go on vacation and have a real adventure?
Would you like to visit unique cities, perhaps watch the dazzling night skies?
We have just the destination for you. I'm Lotte.
And I'm Myla, and we'll be your tour guides to some of the wonders Arizona has to offer.
Let's get started on one of the top-rated destinations.
Our colleague Sharon will introduce us to a destination known for its breathtaking scenery and a whole lot more.
That's right. In addition to its famous red rocks, Sedona is known for its healing energy and is home to a tight-knit community of welcoming and spiritual people. Let's find out if this trip is right for you.
Welcome to the sacred city of Sedona, the home of vortices and spiritual healing. Is this just a popular belief that this place is special, or is there any scientific explanation behind it? Let's find out.
Multiple different healers are situated in Sedona due to its unique energy. Walking Crow is one of them. He heals people with the use of his drums.
My job as a spiritual healer is to bring people into their bodies of healing after lifetimes and sometimes years in the mind. Most of those people are from everywhere else in the United States and in the world. And when they have that experience with the ceremony with me, they tell me, I've never experienced this. And they have emotional experience, spiritual experience. They have experiences with me that they can't explain. My job is to bring them into the present moment, do soul retrieval with them, and teach them how to go forward as they integrate the broken child with the adult.
From healing drum music, we move over to Kelly, a yoga instructor based in Sedona who helps people reconnect with their inner souls.
The level of energy here just really elevates the positivity and, again, the human experience and the divinity within. And the yoga practice, the asanas, the poses, help get the energy moving in the body. And it creates a sense of stillness, so you can really tune inward and begin the meditative process of letting go of anything that's toxic or harming or traumatic, and really just letting the positive and the beauty and the peace and the light shine from within.
But why do so many people feel this positive energy in Sedona? Does this have anything to do with its many vortices? Let's talk to Pete Sanders, who is a biochemist and brain scientist that has been researching this topic for over 50 years.
Vortex is just a label for a site that helps people tap higher consciousness. In brain science, we know there's a whole part of the brain called the limbic system that creates suffering. And vortexes seem to help people soothe the limbic brain and tap those higher states of mind. The site is like an amplifier. Anything you can do in a vortex, you can learn to do without a vortex.
Why do so many people believe in the healing energy of vortices?
There's a tendency throughout humanity to hype stuff as mystical rather than teach people how to do it themselves. And people want hope, and they don't really know how much they could be their own hope.
Sedona is also known for its many crystal shops. Is this just superstition?
A crystal is a focal point, and so sometimes looking at a crystal helps people get out of their limbic worry brain. Then they can be a vortex wherever they are. They can create that uplifted oneness.
The sacred city of Sedona. Is there any truth behind the healing powers? After reviewing different angles of this unique city, it should be clear that healing does not come from a place. It comes from within.
I believe I found my own inner peace now. If you want to be more active and explore the streets, this next location will fit your needs.
Everyone is aware that you need a passport to travel, but have you ever heard of a beer passport?
Well, this is actually the new initiative from the famous Route 66 breweries. So if you're over 21 and you're up for a fun night, Make sure you bring both your passports with you.
See you there.
Mother Road, Grand Canyon, and the Historic are all microbreweries, bringing people together along the famous Route 66 in Flagstaff, Arizona. As a tourist, you can collect stamps or stickers when you try a beer. So let's try to fill up my beer passport.
Of course, you can walk to all these breweries. But you know what's more fun? A paddler. Trying a beer on this location tastes and feels like going on an adventurous road trip on the main street of America, Route 66, the Mother Road.
Founded in 2011, their mission is to brew distinguished beers and build community. His name is Dylan, and he's going to make sure that all the guests are going to have the best experience.
So I really enjoy interacting with guests and welcoming them into the Mother Road story and who we are as a company and what we do for, or try to do for our community, because our mission is to brew distinguished beers and build community one pint at a time. We're located right next to, within walking distance to 3 or 4 other breweries. It's so fun to host guests in here and then, direct them to the next brewery to go check out. We believe that the only way that we can set ourselves apart is providing such a memorable experience when you come to our tap room that you're going to leave here excited about Mother Road Brewing and hopefully even learn something new about beer as well.
And this is how I got my first stamp on my beer passport. Now, from Mother Road Brewery to Historic Brewery.
They've only been around since 2013, creating unique seasonal beers like the Undercover Cucumber, and they are already writing history.
They are contributing to the beer community by having a club where regular customers can spend time together.
So the Smug Mug Club is you pay an annual fee and you get a 20-ounce big mug, and then you get discounts on those fills. So you pay ahead of time and you become part of the club. It creates a gathering place for people. We have multiple tap rooms. We have a lot of locals, Mug Club guys that come here. They have a potluck every Sunday, so it really creates more community that way by having these spaces, and the beer is what brings them here.
The Historic stands out because of their club, but also because of their special beers.
It's because originally what we did with that beer, it's a blonde ale, a blonde wheat beer, and we would take cucumbers and we get 30-pound boxes of cucumber, or I'd have to peel them by hand and then put them in a little juicer.
Now we're going to try the Undercover Cucumber, which is their most popular beer in the summer. Okay. I'm curious, but I'm also scared. It actually tastes like cucumbers.
Yeah.
Hey adventure seekers, I got a question for you. Are you all set? What is one of the 7 world wonders located in Arizona? Do you need a hint? Well, it is Grant.
Brewing might sound easy for some people, even for when you're starting out, but it is a lot harder than it might seem.
Brewers at Grand Canyon will brew the beer from grain and water all the way down, and when it's in the fermenter, we do what's called cellar work, which is taking care of the beer while it's fermenting. The most surefire way to become a brewer is to start in packaging at a brewery and then work your way up.
Well, I've managed to get 3 stamps so far, and I'm really looking forward to discovering the other 5 breweries located around the historic Route 66 in Flagstaff.
Cucumber beer? This makes me curious, but I'm a little skeptical.
I love trying new drinks. I will definitely add a new stamp to my passport tonight.
Talking about passports and traveling, what is your favorite holiday activity?
I love going on hikes. Arizona is a beautiful place to discover.
Then our next trip will be the great adventure for you.
Coming up in a moment, we'll be taking a trip to a spectacular natural wonder. But first, we'll talk with Connor Sweetman from the local search and rescue about staying safe outdoors. So Connor, what are the essentials you need to bring when you go out in nature?
Yeah, sure. And so anytime you're going outside to recreate in the outdoors, whether that be a developed campground, a backwoods trail, or even a really well-established national park like Petrified or Grand Canyon, you always want to bring what we call the 10 essentials. So that's going to be extra food and water while you're on your trip, a pocket knife or a multi-tool, something you can cut stuff with, a flashlight or a headlamp with extra batteries, some kind of first aid, a little small boo-boo kit all the way up to the big stuff. It really depends on your level of training. And especially here in Arizona, very, very critical, you bring sun protection, so sunglasses, sun hat, long sleeve sun clothes. You want to bring your navigation device, which most people just can be your cell phone, but if you have other stuff, compass, maps, GPSs, you also want to bring something that you can make a fire with and have a shelter. And for me, most of my 10 essentials outside of food and water and clothes fit right here in this little kit. I mean, I have everything that I need right here.
And as someone who is not from the United States, what is something I need to know to be safe?
So coming from out of country or even out of state to Arizona, you got to be aware that the Arizona temperature and weather is very hot and very dry. So you got to make sure you're staying hydrated and protecting your skin, especially here in Flagstaff. We're at 7,000 feet. We're very, very high up. So sun, much more intense. Sunburns happen very quickly. So sunscreen, plus with the altitude, there's less air in the atmosphere, so it's harder to breathe. Going up a set of stairs will get you winded. So just knowing that will really help you adjust a little bit faster coming there.
Okay, and what is the best advice you use yourself every time you go out?
So every time I go out, there's 3 things you want to do. You want to make a plan, stick to the plan, and tell somebody that plan. So you want to make a plan, do some research, know where you're going, know what to expect in the conditions. You want to tell somebody that plan, tell a trusted loved one, a coworker, a relative, somebody who you can trust and rely on to make sure they know where you are and when you're supposed to be back. And then most importantly, you want to stick to that plan. You don't want to go off script just because you're feeling fun that day. You want to make sure you are sticking to that plan that you told that person. That way, if you don't show up back on time, they know to call for help and send somebody out to start looking for you.
Okay, thank you for the great tips, Connor.
Absolutely, Sharon, thank you.
So now we're ready to visit a one-of-a-kind natural wonder.
We're here today in the Petrified Forest, one of the many national parks of Arizona. As we move through these beautiful rock formations, we're on the lookout for the true beauty of nature.
The Petrified Forest's namesake comes from the large collection of petrified wood found across several areas of the forest. Large pieces of prehistoric wood were over time slowly replaced by minerals as the wood started to decompose. This process created exact replicas of the wood, made entirely of stone with a beautiful display of vibrant colors. And it's these colors that have been the inspiration for artists throughout the centuries.
We're starting our journey into the past of nature-based Northern Arizona art right here, the Museum of Northern Arizona. We're speaking with Alan Peterson to talk about the artistic inspiration artists had in olden times.
Peterson, a fine arts curator, says the state of Arizona is a source of inspiration.
It's kind of like the whole earth, the landscape is laid bare to see the beauty of the underlying structure. And I think that that's what really attracts people.
The initial artworks made by European settlers in this area were commissioned by the Southern Pacific Railroad Company as a way to showcase this natural architecture to the rest of the world.
They were promoting 2 things. They were promoting the beautiful landscapes, like Petrified Forest, Painted Desert, Grand Canyon, but also Native American villages and Native American art and craft.
Art has progressed since then, but the nature of Arizona, and especially the Petrified Forest, has continued to offer a lot of artistic inspiration. Environmental artist Claire Giordano continues to be amazed by the natural landscape.
And I love these paintings I made there so much of the incredible patterns on the wood because they just are so emblematic of the conditions around me. So watercolor, if it's really dry, my paints dry really, really fast. So in Petrified Forest, with almost no humidity whatsoever and hot and windy, you can imagine it was like having a hairdryer pointed at my page.
Giordano created these artworks during a recent 2-week-long stay within the Petrified Forest. She got this opportunity through the Artist in Residence program, a nationally recognized contest that allows artists of all mediums to immerse themselves in the world's most mesmerizing locations. Giordano says the experience alone is breathtaking.
For me, they are just such incredible and inevitably just transformative experiences in their own way to spend. I mean, 14 to 34 days in a place, it's just, there's nothing like it.
After spending such a prolonged time in the park, you're bound to discover what your favorite areas are.
The area of Jasper Forest and kind of hiking down below the rim there was by far the most impactful location. Just a really incredible thing to be surrounded by that much just incredible, unusual, unexpected color.
After having looked at this park through the eyes of these artists, I think it's pretty safe to say that the Petrified Forest is an artwork in and of itself. Just don't be tempted to take a piece of rock with you home. Legend says that a curse will fall upon anyone who takes a piece of petrified wood with them. So be respectful and don't steal.
Let's make sure we preserve every piece of rock within the Petrified Forest. so that this gorgeous park remains a source of inspiration for generations to come.
Getting cursed from a piece of rock? Who would have thought? Anyway, if you want to unwind after a long day, we have a special nighttime activity for you.
Have you ever truly looked at the night skies? It is more magical than you might think, especially here in Arizona. Maybe you can even catch a glimpse of a shooting star. I got the chance to experience it myself.
The sky holds magic, mystery, and delight for people around the world. No matter where you are in the world, you can always look up to the same stars. But here in wondrous Flagstaff, Arizona, the stars shine just a little brighter. That's because Flagstaff is the world's first international dark sky city. Nat White was not only on the city council when the work to preserve naturally dark night skies began. He was also an astronomer at Lowell Observatory.
So the combination of astronomy near metropolitan areas stimulated this idea of dark skies.
Lowell Observatory has also played a big part in establishing Flagstaff's reputation for dark skies. The observatory was founded in 1894 and has been here for over a century. They discovered Pluto, they researched the expanding of the universe, and they're still discovering the sky to this day.
That passion, to me, is what's the most inspiring about the observatory. So many great discoveries, and it was driven by pursuit of passion.
Even for professionals like historian Kevin Schindler and artist Saskia Jorda, whose art is inspired by dark skies, the view of the stars never gets old.
The sky is definitely magical, but I would say it's even beyond magic. It's mysterious, it's grand, it's full of awe in a way.
I've been in this dome a gazillion times, and I've written a book about Pluto, and I'm still fascinated by it. I come in here and I'm still in awe. So to be able to feel that way after 27 years and to be able to share that excitement makes it worthwhile. Life's too short to be miserable.
Jorda, who has made this art piece for the Coconino Center for the Arts, is finding new ways for people to connect with the skies above us.
If this sparks a conversation about the skies being within our grasp, that's great. If they can only connect with the material, that's great too. But I think connection is really important. Like, how can we reconnect with our skies and how can we protect them?
And we don't just need to protect the skies. Nat White says we also need to protect ourselves from this age of technology.
Set the thing down. Look, sit quietly. Listen. Those are all things that were fundamental in life until the last 30 years or so. And you need to keep that, otherwise you'll lose it. What you don't realize is precious is lost.
So maybe after watching our TV show, you should start watching the stars.
And don't forget to make a wish tonight. Maybe it'll come true.
I can't think of some of the wishes I might have made, but well, I've lived a great life, so I guess it all came true.
We have shown you around some of Arizona's amazing wonders.
But of course there are many more to explore around here.
If you are looking for something adventurous, something family-friendly, or something full of joy, the choice is yours.
Let's go, girls. I really want to try some of that cucumber beer.
Or let's start with visiting Sedona. I would love to see how wonderful the crystals truly are.